Hey family, hope you're having a great day. It's Dad here. It's Thursday night, and just wanted to, share my thoughts on regrets, on how I handled myself during my divorce process. So if you've seen my previous videos, you kind of probably know about my bio, but I've been divorced since 2006. I have two kids. At the time of the divorce, my kids were age 3 and 1. And I was overweight, lost my job, and I was broke. But I persevered, and soon after the divorce, I lost the weight, had several jobs since divorce, several great, positions during my time post-divorce. I've saved and invested, and I'm getting closer to financial independence. But most importantly, I'm living happily and somewhat healthy. Now, I don't regret my divorce. Don't get me wrong, I'm happily divorced. It wasn't healthy, but we had different perspectives on life, parenting, and finances. So more than happy that I am divorced. Now, speaking on experience, divorce is hard. It's so many emotions. You're angry, you have a lot of hate, you have sad negativity going on majority of the time when you're going through a divorce. For folks who are approaching or in the divorce process, just want to share my perspectives, my experiences of going through divorce and things I would have done differently. So the first thing I would have done was, don't be angry when working through the divorce process. Be diplomatic. Being angry will make bad decisions, which can affect the outcome of the divorce proceedings, such as, property allocation, alimony, things like that, even child support. So if you have anger, release that anger. Release it in a good way. Working out, doing yoga, talking to a friend, a good friend that you can be very transparent with. Even talking with a therapist. Do something that you can do to release that negativity, that anger, that hate. Trust me, there were times when I went through my divorce proceedings and I made decisions based on my emotions. And I had some really negative, angry emotions during my proceedings, during the process. The next thing, I probably would have done differently during my divorce was discuss it with the other party first on how to handle the divorce proceedings. I would definitely have been a lot more diplomatic. It's a negotiation, right, when it comes to divorce. There's two parties and you're trying to come to a happy medium. Now, if you both can't come to an agreement when it comes to, if you have assets, property, alimony, having an attorney will help. I retained an attorney. It was expensive. I think I paid like $2,500 up front as a retainer to handle all the initial paperwork and the calls with the case officer. But for me, it was worth it. I wasn't able to come to a happy medium. Again, I was angry. I was really dealing with a lot of emotions, and I was making a lot of decisions based on my emotions. So I think, if I was a little more calm, I would have been a little more diplomatic and a little more humble on handling my divorce. And if we were able to handle it diplomatically between me and my ex, I may not needed a lawyer. Originally my ex wanted $1,100 a month in child support, and that was a lot of money for me at the time. I wasn't making a lot of money. We were still young, but $1,100 was a lot. I was able to pay a retainer for my lawyer, and she was able to negotiate it down to $600 a month, which was a lot more manageable at that time. And again, we couldn't come to a happy medium, and I think part of it is on me. I was very emotional. I was really angry. But if you can work it out with your ex and agree to a monthly sum, then all you have to do is get the paperwork filed yourself. And it's pretty easy. I wouldn't say it's easy, but it is somewhat easier to get it done if you're able to negotiate with your ex. Do the research, talk with the case officer who is overseeing your divorce, your child support, and then you may be able to get it done on your own along with your ex. I would be highly cautious and maybe consult with an attorney as well, just to make sure you're checking all the boxes and you're going about it the right way. But if you can handle it with the other party neutrally and being diplomatic, then you should be able to handle it yourself. But again, even though if you do handle it yourself, I would always consult with an attorney just to make sure that you have you dotted your I's and crossed your T's on that. Number 3 is, be rational. And I think I've said this already before. I was the breadwinner of the family. We were young, so I didn't make a lot, and she didn't work at the time. Be fair. It was difficult to give up a part of my income for child support. I was really frustrated because I felt the child support was not being used properly. We had arguments about that. Nothing got resolved. But as time went on, my mentality changed with child support. And it was, it's going to a good cause. It was going to my kids. And that's how I needed to think about it. I needed to think positive. It wasn't going to change. I was going to pay child support through when the kids turned 18. That was it. That was cut and dry. And so I just needed to change my mindset and assume that the child support was going to good things. Be fair throughout this whole time. She wasn't working at the time, and she was taking care of my kids half the time when we were divorced at the beginning. It was difficult to give up a part of my income. Child support, again, is based on income, and I was a breadwinner. She wasn't really working that much. She was working part-time. So I knew that I was going to have to give up pay child support in order, for her to take care of my 2 kids. I was frustrated early on because I felt the child support payments were not being used properly. And I think a lot of people go through that. And we had arguments about that. Nothing got resolved. But as time went by, my mentality changed with child support that's going to the kids. I made the mindset that this was going to the kids and it was benefiting them. I didn't think in a negative manner. I was being rational. And I had to think about that because I was paying child support till the kids turned 18. If I had just a negative attitude and argumentative mindset when it come to child support with my ex, I would have been going crazy until they were 18 years old. So word to the younger dads who are about to get divorced, or even younger husbands that are about to get divorced, is just be rational, be diplomatic. Don't think negatively again when it comes to, paying alimony or child support. And the last one is, time heals all wounds. Try and fast forward quicker with that time. If it's over and you're officially divorced, just move on. Live your life safely and quietly. You don't need to post on social media about how happy and excited you are and, you're partying it up like crazy. Look forward, not backwards. If you have kids involved, think about the best interests of the kids. You don't need to argue in front of your kids. Be a great full-time role model. Pursue hobbies and interests in your off time. But over time, you will look back and wish you didn't do some stupid shit. Tell me your thoughts. Leave a comment. Subscribe to my channel. Again, these are my perspectives and views. I'm not a certified professional. I'm just a dad. That's all I got. Stay safe, stay positive, and be happy. Love you, Dad.